aisles and face down, the drummer in the group, and sing background vocals. But the real thing that I want to talk to you today about is how God has delivered me from anxiety, and how also God is delivering me from obesity and I would say food addiction. I think the first thing to say is that in food addiction and even in anxiety, what I've realized is that Jesus has to be top priority, number one. And I think He shows me how to live my life, what priorities to put where. Where does work come? Where does the ministry come? Where does friendships, relationships, and all of that? And that way I'm not trying to run on my life myself. I'm comfortable admitting that I would have any kind of issue with food until I had to stop eating certain foods. And then I realized that I couldn't stop eating foods that were harmful for me or not good for me or were making me gain more weight. So I realized that I was using food to bring enjoyment to my life or hope. If I accomplished this thing, then I could eat pizza. And I don't think it was conscious all the time. I think it was subconscious. And so as I've gone into a weight loss plan, what I'm learning is not just to lose weight, but to be healthy. So tonight, just tonight, as I'm getting ready to start a gig, what we call a God-initiated gathering, I said out loud, hey, I feel really tempted to eat these foods that are not on my plan, because there's always goodies around, you know, and they advertise baked goods, so it's like I really want to eat that kind of stuff, but I know that if I open the door to that, then I could go days and not stay on plan. So I live in a high level of accountability. Immediately when I felt it, I said something, so that other people can begin to watch for me, you know, and help me not to make the wrong choices rather, and to make the right choices. When you eat something that you shouldn't, it's not necessarily that I'm going to die from that choice, but I have to realize that my choices right now affect my choices later. So if I eat something that I shouldn't eat, then basically what happens is that food, that toxin stays in my body for days, and then my body won't lose weight because it's now thriving and striving for and craving that substance. And I think that relates to alcohol. I think it relates to drugs, and I think it relates to food. I think it relates to sex, looking for that next fill. So I think what Jesus is teaching me in that is that I need to depend on Him. He gives me the strength to not go into that temptation. The Bible promises that He always gives me a way out. And I think the key there is for me to say something. If I kept it to myself, I might sneak a cookie or, you know, I mean, and this may sound goofy, but I think it relates really widely to a lot of us who struggle. And since January, with God's help, and I'm telling you with God's help, I've lost 62 pounds. And so that's a big deal for me, because I never thought, I mean, think about the thing in your life that you feel most hopeless about. It was my weight. For me, it was my weight. And I've lost 61 pounds, and that's, like, I can't believe it. And so the rewards, while I may not see it tonight at this gig, and hey, I'm even going to exercise by playing the drums, I realize that the goal of losing even more weight is so much bigger and better than eating that cookie or that cupcake. The other thing I say too is that I'm not always perfect, and sometimes I do fall short of what my goal is, which is to become healthier and to lose weight. So what do? I can beat myself up, I can feel guilty for days, I can, you know, give up the path, or I can get up, brush myself off, and start again. And by the way, for me, now, eating the wrong foods is a sin. And let me explain, let me break it down like this. Jesus has showed me a better way to eat and a better way to live my life. And when I turn my back on that better way, that's sin. I have knowledge now of what's healthy and what's not healthy. So if I continue to pursue what's not healthy, I'm walking away from what God has shown me. So I think of it like that too. That helps me. And that's just been my journey with food. I wouldn't define myself as anorexic or bulimic. I never felt like I went to extremes, but I did not wind up big as day, you know, by eating little bit. I mean, you know, and so, you know, there obviously was a problem. And I think that's key too, right? Recognizing you have a problem and admitting that problem. So I think for me, God is helping me every day to get up and to make the right choice, meal by meal, and to prepare. I have to prepare. I don't go into McDonald's and pretend like it might be easy for me to order a salad. I just don't go to those places. And what I find is that the desire for those foods goes less and less and less and less. And the desire for health, as I get healthier, goes more and more and more and more. I had a surgery for basic knee surgery, which was a torn meniscus. I wanted my meniscus to be repaired. It was torn, and it did not come back right. It did not come back in a good, healthy manner. And so the doctor said, after several treatments and physical therapy, that I was going to need knee replacement. Now I'm only 40, which means I would not only need it now, I would need it again probably in 15 to 20 years. And it all had to do with my weight and cartilage and loving cartilage. So I thought enough is enough, and I got desperate, I think, to change. I mean, and not desperate like, oh, I think I'm going to start Monday, but like, I'm going to end up in a power chair. And I was almost giving myself over to the thought of that. And my brother came to me and said, I know that you can know the resurrection power of Jesus Christ in your life in this area. And what was wild was that just days before I had prayed, Jesus, I want to know the resurrection power that you had to overcome the grave in my life in this area. And so when he said that, it was like a confirmation. And then he said this, and I thought this was awesome. I will journey with you. And so he's going to every appointment. He's on my accountability squad. And when I feel like I'm not losing weight or I'm plateaued, then he will encourage me. And my family gatherings have changed. My family has begun to eat healthy, all of us. So, you know, dinners look differently and holidays look different, and it's just been a blessing. So I was desperate. That's what, you know, my life could take a turn and I could spend eternity in a power chair, or I could do what God is calling me to do, which is to become healthier so that I can keep reaching people for Christ.